Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we will be entering chapter 10, which is on mechanical and sound waves. So this is a very long chapter. We will be taking 2 weeks of our time to finish this chapter. Okay, so there is 5 subtopics. The first one is on properties of waves. So in this subtopic, you should be able to define what is wavelength and wave number, and then obviously solve problems related to the equation of progressive wave, and then you have to also be able to discuss and use particle vibrational velocity and wave propagation velocity. And lastly, you have to also discuss the graphs of displacement against time and then displacement against distance. Okay. Right. So what is mechanical waves? Well, mechanical waves is defined as a disturbance. Okay, it is a disturbance that transfers energy through matter or space. Okay, so it consists of oscillations or vibrations of a physical medium or a field around relatively fixed location. For examples, we have water waves, sound waves, waves on a rope, waves in a spring, and how do I pronounce this? Seismic waves? I don't know. Basically, it's just the earthquake lah. Okay? Alright, lepas tu we have progressive waves. So what is actually progressive waves? It is defined as the one in which the wave profile propagates. Okay? So it has a definite speed which we call as wave speed. Okay? And then the direction of this wave speed is always in the same direction as the wave propagation. Okay? Right, so lepas tu we have two types of progressive waves pula. So the first one is transverse waves, and then the second one is longitudinal waves. Okay? So transverse wave, it is defined as a wave where the direction of vibration is perpendicular to the direction of the wave propagation. Okay? So direction of vibration ni always perpendicular dengan the wave punya motion. Okay? Right? So for example, we have water waves, waves on a rope, electromagnetic waves lah. Okay, macam ni. So as the wave passes, macam gini ni, each particle moves up and then down lah. Okay? Apa kita panggil tu yang human wave. For example, macam yang human wave tu. Okay, lepas tu we have longitudinal wave, which is defined as a wave where the direction of vibration is parallel to the direction of wave propagation. Okay, wave propagation ni maksudnya wave speed. Okay, so where is the wave moving? Where the wave is moving. Okay, right? So as the wave passes, look at this, each particle of the fluid moves forward and then back. Macam earthworm, macam tu lah. Okay, so it is parallel to the motion of the wave itself lah. For example, we have sound waves, waves in a spring. Okay? Alright, so now let's look at properties of waves. We have amplitude, wavelength, wave number, period, frequency, wave speed, and displacement. Okay? So displacement here is known as y lah. Okay? Yang last chapter was x kan? Right, so amplitude, if we are given a graph, a sine graph or a cosine graph, dia punya, the top of the wave, I mean the maximum distance where the wave stops, macam yang di sini ni, is known as the amplitude. Okay, so it is the maximum displacement in the positive or negative y direction. Oh, this should be or negative y direction. Okay. Okay, lepas tu we have wavelength. It's labeled there in the graph. Shouldn't have any problem. And then we have wave number. So basically wave number ni, it is the number of wavelengths per unit distance. Okay, per unit distance tu berapa banyak wavelength dia ada. And then period, obviously time taken for one complete cycle. Frequency is number of cycles per unit time. And then we have wave speed, which is the distance traveled by a wave profile per unit time. So this one is important. Make sure you remember this formula. And then we have displacement, in which it is the distance moved by a particle from its equilibrium position at every point along a wave. Okay? Right, so this is the general equation of displacement for sinusoidal progressive waves. Okay, so we have two. One is where the wave is propagating to the left, motion there is to the left, and then this one is going to the right, dia punya wave tu. Okay, the only difference is positive and negative here. So negative, dia terbalik lah. Usually negative ni kan kita cakap dia going to the left, tapi this one dia going to the right. Okay, right. So let's see actually what does this notation means, each of this notation. So we have y, x, t is the value of y depends on the value of x and then t. Okay, and then we have cos or sine, which is the shape of the progressive wave, and then we have angular frequency, which is the number of cycles per unit time. And then this here is known as the phase, okay? Phase of the wave at x and t, okay? At a specific value of x and t lah maksud dia sini ni. Okay? So phase is measured in radian. This measured in radian tells us how far along that point is in the repeating pattern in its motion lah. Okay? So dia bagi tahu kita berapa banyak pattern yang repeat in that motion. Okay? So positive kx is moving to the left, negative x direction, where negative kx is moving to the right. Okay, so we also have equation of particle velocity. Okay, macam juga simple harmonic motion, we have x a sine omega t. Untuk chapter 10 pun and then chapter 9 pun ada kan, omega a cos omega t. And then we have acceleration. So this one pun ada. Okay, untuk chapter 10 pun ada mechanical waves ni. Okay, so if they ask you about the vibrational velocity, okay, so make sure you understand this part. If they ask you about the vibrational velocity, it is asking you about the equation. It is asking you about the rate of change of vibrational displacement of waves particle. Okay, the velocity of the particle varies with time, tapi the wave velocity is constant. The wave velocity is constant where you calculate it by using this formula here. Okay, it is about the, kejap ni na, I highlight dulu. It is asking about the wave propagation velocity, in which it is the speed which the wave travels. Okay, dia ada vibration, dia ada propagation. Okay, make sure you understand the differences between these two. And then we also have for wave, so particles acceleration is this one lah, sama macam apa tu, simple harmonic motion kan, which is the rate of change of vibrational velocity of waves particle.